Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Can I have a quick plus one in the chat if I'm visible as well as equally audible? Okay, let me turn on my preview screen. Okay, can I have a quick plus one? Visible as well as equally audible. Okay, from my side, according to my preview screen, I am equally visible and clearly audible. Okay, okay. So we would wait for just 1 or 2 minutes, okay? After 1 or 2 minutes, we would directly start. Just for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, let's do a timer of 1 minute and we would run it. Okay, happy Raksha Bandhan to everyone. Okay, thank you, Vishal. Just code it. Where talk stuff which are relevant to problems. Okay, we would talk just 1 or 2 minutes. Then we would talk only relevant to problems. We won't be talking other stuffs. Okay, good to go. So we would start. Okay, so we would start. So how many questions were you able to do? Okay, so let's go to the first question straightly. The first question was frogs and jumps. Okay, and it had a points of 40. Okay, and frogs are positioned at one end of the pond. Okay, all frogs want to reach the other end of the pond as soon as possible. Okay, suppose this is the point, this is the point. Okay, so suppose there are n frogs. Okay, one, two, three, four. Okay, and they all want to go from this side to this side. Okay, next we would move forward. Now the pond has some leaves arranged in a straight line. Okay, now this is quite evident from the fact itself that we would be able to visit the frogs are not able to dip in the water itself. So what they normally do is they take the help of stones or leaves. Okay, so they would step at one leaf. Suppose this is the leaf. Okay, let me draw the leaf with other colors. So leaf, other leaf. So they would do is they would at first jump at this leaf, then again jump at this leaf, and then reach the shore. Okay, good to go. No problem. You would do definitely. But if the people who were not able to do any questions, please keep up with that consistency. Just keep up with the consistency. Okay. Now, each frog has the strength to jump exactly K leaves. Okay, exactly. It can jump exactly K leaves. For example, a frog having strength 2 will visit leaves 2, 4, 6 while crossing the pond. Now, the most important thing according to me is this one. Exactly. Okay, this exactly. Okay, this shows that suppose the strength of the frog is 10. Okay, then it would take help of jumps only of 10. Okay, of 10 big steps. Okay, 10, 10, 10, not less nor more, just exactly. Okay, just exactly K-leaves. Now we are given the strength of each frog. Okay, and the number of leaves, and your task is to find the number of leaves that are not to be visited by any of the frogs when all frogs have reached the other end of the pond. Good to go. Now we would see the example. Now while I am explaining the example, can I have a quick poll that how many of you know sieve of Eratosthenes? That prime sieve? How many of you know that? Okay, just tell me. Okay, because it is important. Why is it is important? I would tell you. Okay, Suppose number of leaves are 4 itself. Okay, so we would draw 4 leaves. This is the first leaf, this is the second leaf, this is the third leaf, this is the fourth leaf. Okay, now the frogs have the strength to jump 3 itself. Okay, first frog would jump 3. Okay, so the first frog would jump 3 and then it would reach the shore. This is done. Then 2. So the second frog I would be drawing it with the other line. It would jump 2 and then it would jump 4 itself. Okay, and the fourth frog is able to jump off 4 side. Okay, so it would jump directly to this and then it would reach the shore. Okay, I heard the name just. I know sir, I don't know, I heard the name just. Okay, what I would be doing is I would be using that approach. Okay, I would be using that approach, that sieve one. So okay, so I would be quickly teaching you around 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, and I would be teaching you sieve. Okay, prime sieve. Okay, why I am doing that? Because we would be tweaking that algorithm, that idea, that prime sieve idea, we would be using that. So we would just take 2 minutes and I would give you everyone so that we all are in the same page itself. Okay, just bear, those who know, just bear with me for 2 minutes. Okay, now suppose there is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 itself. Okay, now what we would do is we are told to tell the primes. We are told to tell the primes that are from number 1 to 10. Okay, now what we would do is, at first we would mark this, and this is prime. At first we would mark everything true. Now what we would do is we would mark the multiple of this as not prime. This would be prime, but multiple of that won't be prime. Okay, what I claim here is that, so I would be removing this, I would be removing this, I would be removing this, I would be removing this. Okay, now I come to the third. Okay, third is still not striked out. Now what I would be doing is I would be saying that 3 is a prime number and the multiples of 3 is not a prime number. So what I would do is I would mark it as prime. I would take it as a prime. Then I would mark the multiples of 3 as not prime. Okay, so multiple of 3, 6 is already marked, and then we would just mark this one, 9 itself. Okay, now 4 is already striked out, so we won't be using it. 5 is not striked out. What we would be doing is we would be going to the multiple of 5. 5 multiple is already striked. 7 multiple is not there only. Okay, now what are the prime numbers that remain? 2, 3, 5 and 7. Okay, that is what is known as prime sieve. Okay, that is only prime sieve. Okay, now why I told you this? Because it is a win-win situation. How it is a win-win situation? It is a win-win situation because you have learned just now prime sieve. Just go to the article, search prime sieve, read the article, and you would get the hang of it. Okay, now I would be moving my approach. Okay, more. Okay, now what I would be doing is there is the number of leaves given. Suppose the number of leaves is 10 itself. Okay, so what I would be doing is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 itself. Okay, and let us take that values only. Okay, 3 2 and 4, 3 2 and 4 itself. Okay, 3 2 and 4. So at first we would be sorting this. Why sorting is important? Okay, now I would say you a reason why sorting is important. Because I am showing you, because suppose this is 4 itself. Okay, and this is 2. Okay, suppose 4 comes before 2, and this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so if we use 4 itself, then at first we would mark 4 and we would mark 8 itself. Then we would again do 2, and then we would mark again 2 and then 4 and then 6 and then 8. So if we had used 2 before 4, then the multiples of 4 would have already been marked. Am I clear with this or not? Why I am sorting this? It won't affect much, But why I sorted this? Because that is important in the initial days of yours, okay? Because why he did this? Why he did this is important, okay? We would be moving forward. So at first what I would be doing is, I would be sorting it 2, 3 and then 4. Good to go. Then we would be moving forward. How we would be moving forward? We would be striking out 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good to go. Then we would take help of 3. 3, 6 is already done, and 9 we would strike out. And then 4. Now the multiples of 4 has already been marked. Okay. Now the same idea, prime sieve idea we are giving here. That's why knowing the algorithms is kind of important, because we have tweaked the prime sieve idea. Okay. So am I clear with this or not? Can I move to the implementation? I would be taking an array, we would be hashing everything. If that is already marked, then we won't be touching. Now one person told na why it give TLE. It would give TLE because we need to check. Suppose it is already been marked, so we know that the multiples of that would already be marked. Okay. So now we would be moving on to the implementation. Okay. So that the editorial remains short and you would need patience. Okay. So what I am doing is, at first I am sorting this, okay, moving forward. Then what I am doing is, I am making an array of k plus 1 with everything marked as true. Just we did in the prime board, okay. Now what I am doing is, I am iterating on the array elements. I am marking at E, okay. Suppose it is already visited. Suppose it is already visited, then I am not visiting it. Why this one? Because 2 has already marked 4, 8, 4, 8, 12 and 16. 2 has already marked 4, 8, 12 and 16. Okay. Now we know that if we come across 4 after marking the 2, then it is not required only. That's why we are making it more efficient, and the time complexity reduces by many folds. Okay. That's why what I am doing is, multiples of that we are marking it as false. Okay. And after doing all this, the things which remain true, we are counting it. Okay. We are counting it and then we are returning it. Okay. Now I would wait for 2 minutes for doubts. Tell me, what are your doubts? Can we use map? Okay, we can use map, but map has a complexity of log n. Okay, and this hashing one has a complexity of constant complexity. That's why I found it more efficient. Okay, good to go. Can you please solution in Python also? Okay, the thing is that array also remains in Python only, and this idea would remain true. But to be honest, I don't know Python. So what you can do is, you can check other summation and you would get. And if you are not able to resolve that issue, if you come across any issue, then just ping me on LinkedIn. I would be resolving it. Just please got it. Please move on to the second question just for 2 minutes, so that the person who has not understood it, I would be making it clear. That is the importance we are doing it live. Na? That is, please bear with me. Request. Can we do it in adjacency list? Can you tell me how we are doing it in adjacency list? I think it would give you TLE. Okay. So time complexity analysis for sure. Okay. So what I am doing is, this sorting is taking log n. This one is taking big O of n, and we are doing log n approach. So the max one, and this is also big O of n. What is the max one? The time complexity of max one is n log n. Okay, so this is the time complexity, which is same kind of sieve only. Okay, good to go. Can we use map? Can we do it using map? Okay, all the okay, thank you. All the doubts are cleared. We are moving on to the second question. Okay, now the second question was interesting. Okay, now which is the most important part in the second question? Okay, I would be first explaining the question, then I would be telling. Okay, we are given an infinite two-dimensional grid, and there are n balloons placed at certain coordinates of the grid. You have an arrow with yourself. We have an arrow and we would shoot the balloons itself. Okay, and you can select any point on the grid as your starting point, any point, including the point which already has the balloon. Okay, Suppose this is already have a balloon, this already has a balloon. So we can stand here and shoot the other balloons. Okay. You can select any grid you are starting. When you fire the arrows, all shorten spot between the point and will be burst. Okay, what it is trying to tell is we will be allowed to shoot it for only one time, and the balloons which are on the shortest path between that would be maximum. Okay, and what can be the maximum? Sorting will leave, and sorting will be leaving at, okay, sorting is n log n. Okay, sorting is n log n. I'm sorry. Actually, I missed mistake. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. Sorting would give you also time complexity of n log n. Okay. Okay. Now the thing is that the first most important thing is that now this question is easy. Okay. So the first thing what you should do is to read a question. What I found it the most useful tip is, suppose you are reading the question and you are at this line. Okay. And now till what you should, this should be a primary rule that if you have not understood the first line, then you shouldn't go to the next line. First you should understand the time complexity said n log n leave, so I didn't use sort. Okay, so thing is that the first thing should be that if you have not clearly understood and visualized the first line, then you shouldn't go for the second line. Suppose you are at the fourth line, so if you successfully understood the fourth line, then only you should be on the fifth line. Okay. Okay, Utkarsh, please don't reveal the answers, because what I generally do is I try to explain, then I try to give out observation, then I move to the solution. So giving the solution in the chat won't help others also. You know, but what I want to do is I want to teach others also. That's why, please, I'm requesting you. Okay, the most important thing is infinite two-dimensional grid. Okay, infinite two-dimensional grid. Okay, whenever you see that you are given an infinite array, infinite sized array, infinite grid, okay, you should not consider it as infinite. You can consider it as finite. Okay, because if you think like that it is infinite, then you would come across approaches which won't be moving around the solution. Okay, you would be considering the solution which won't work. Okay, so just consider that it is finite. Okay, now what I would be doing is, suppose we are given, okay, suppose we are given a matrix. Okay, 0 0 0 1 0 2 0 3 1 1 1 2 and 1 3, and then 2 0 2 1 2 2 and 2 3. Good to go. Now I would be showing you why it is important. Okay, now suppose there is one balloon. Okay, there is one balloon. Okay, so start from the lower end. Suppose there is one balloon. Okay, so there is one balloon. Suppose there is balloon at this point. So what I can do is, suppose it is on the any balloon, I can stand at this position and I can attack this balloon. I can stand at this position and attack this balloon. So if the answer is 1, then if the n is 1, then it would be answer would be 1 itself. Okay, so 1 ka answer is 1. Okay, moving forward, suppose there are two balloons. Okay, anywhere, any point, suppose there is this and this. Okay, suppose there are two balloons. Okay, now what I can do is I can stand at this position and I can attack this balloon. I can stand at this position and I can attack this balloon. Okay, and if n is equal to 2, the answer would be 2 itself. Okay, now let me remove this. If the answer is 2, am I clear till this point or not? Because these two are kind of observation. Okay, am I clear with this do 2 or not? Then we would move to the general cases. Can we do a equation? I would be generalizing every question after I am done explaining. Okay, can I have a quick poll that am I clear till 1 or for the cases of 1 and 2 only? Am I clear? Can I have a quick +1 in the chat, please? I got 1 plus 1. Can I have more plus 1, please? Okay, good to go. Okay. Now, suppose the thing is that, now suppose there are 3 points. Okay. Now there are 3 points. Whatever be the point. Okay. Whatever be the point, suppose there are 3 points. Okay. Now the thing is that if you visualize this, okay, if you visualize this, I need to make the background white. Now, if you visualize this, I can stand at this position and I can shoot a balloon straight up. Now, I can stand at any column, and then I can shoot a balloon straight. I can stand at any column and then shoot a balloon at this. I can stand at any row and can shoot a balloon like this. Only one shooting. So I can do this or not. I can travel in straight lines, in rows and in columns or not. Am I clear with this or not? Just tell me. We are building the solution. Okay. Don't worry, I would be wrapping this session very fast. Okay. Don't worry. Am I clear with this or not? Just tell me this. Okay. I got 1 plus 1. Okay. Now the next thing what I can do is I can stand and shoot. I can stand and shoot like this also. Because there is no limitation that I can't shoot like this, like this. So I can shoot diagonally also. One people told me diagonally, so I'm building that only. I can shoot like this also. I can shoot in any way. Okay. Now, what I would be doing is, I would be at first seeing for the straight line. For the straight line. Okay. For the straight line, what is the thing? For the straight line, suppose this is 0, 0, then it is 0, 1, and then it is 0, 2, and then it is 0, 3. So, if I need to check for the rows, then x-axis would remain the same. So, x is same. X-axis is same. Okay. Now, we would be seeing for y-axis. Okay. Now, what happens to the y-axis? Suppose this point is 1, 2. So, this point would be 2, 2. This point would be 3, 2. This point would be 4, 2. This point would be 5, 2. Okay. Now, this is the same case as y-axis same. Okay. Now, we would be moving forward. Okay. Now, how can I handle the test cases where I need to check for all the points that lie at this line? Okay. All the points that lie in this line. Suppose here one balloon, here one balloon, 3 balloon, 4 balloon, 5 balloon. Okay. Now I need to check what are the points that lie in the same point. Okay. So this is kind of elementary math, the basic maths that, sir, I think you are saying reverse. Let me check. Here x-axis would remain same. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Okay. Here this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and y-axis would remain the same. I don't think I am going wrong, but it might be the case that I am going the reverse. Can anyone please clear this? Am I going reverse or not? Please, I am making mistake or not? Please, just clear this. Okay, it might be the case that it seems to me true, but it is generally not true. I know I can do it, but on the verge of explanation, I make mistakes. Okay, now we would be moving forward. Now, whenever we need to check for points on a particular line, what comes under this? This comes a case known as slope. This plays a very important role. Okay, it plays a very important role known as slope. Okay, this and this slope would be same. Why would be same? This is same, this is same, this is same, this is same. Okay, now we would be considering the slope. Okay, so am I clear with this or not? This slope is important. This slope one is important. Okay, just clear with me, just clear this. Am I clear or not? Just this one. Okay, now what is the formula to find slope? Slope formula is equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay, this is the formula of finding the slope. Okay, now what we would be doing is we would be considering three cases. Three cases. Now the first case is for row. Second case would be column. Third case would be that line, inclined line. Okay, that would be slope. Okay, now y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Yeah, we are clear. Okay, so there are three cases. Now the thing is that what are the constraint? Okay, so if you see the constraint, we can see that n square approach is feasible. How n square approach is feasible? At 1 second we can do 10 to the power 8 operations. Okay, so 10 to the power, if you multiplied n with 10 to the power 8, I think it is 300. So if you multiply 300 square 300 off, then it would be less than 10 to the power 8. So we can do this, afford this. Good to go. So at first we would be doing is we would be considering the points. Okay, considering the points for standing at a particular position. Then we would see that what are all the points that lie at this side, that lie at this side. Okay, in the same row and in the same column. Okay, but one more case is there. One more case is there. What is the next case? Okay, next case which I missed is I got a wrong summation for this one, is when it has same. Okay, the same part. Okay, suppose where I am standing, it is having four balloons at this place only. So if I am standing at this position, then suppose this where there are two balloons, so I would be bursting these two balloons and these two balloons, so the answer would be 7. But if we are considering only three cases, then the answer would be 2 itself. The same case I missed this on this. The same one I missed this. That's why I told it at last. Okay. Now we need to consider for the same case, we would be seeing that if a dash I is equals to a dash j itself. Okay. Now the next thing is that row itself. For all x is equals to same, x same for row. Okay. Column y same. Okay. And then for slope, what we would be doing is we would be calculating the slope. Calculate the slope. Okay, then simplify it. Okay, lowest term. How you can make it to the lowest term? Okay, we can make it to lowest term by just taking out the GCD and dividing. Okay, that is value by GCD, and then we would be pushing it in the map itself. Okay, am I clear with this or not? Now we would be implementing it. I am again repeating everything. Tell me if I am clear with this or not, then we would move to the implementation. We would at first check if these two are identical or not, the coordinates are same or not. Then we would check for the x coordinate same. Then we would check the y coordinate is same or not. Then we would be taking out the slope, and then we would be simplifying it, we would be adding it to the map itself. Am I clear with this or not? Just tell me, just give me a +1, I would move. Okay, I would tell you, suppose there are three cases. Okay, now there are three cases. I can shoot a balloon at the same row. Okay, I can shoot a balloon in the same column. Okay, I can shoot a balloon diagonally or an inclined line. Okay, this row one and inclined one is comparatively easy for everyone. I would be seeing for the inclined one. So now I would be telling you that inclined one. Okay, the thing is that I would be taking out the slope. Okay, why you use GCD? I am telling you. Okay, suppose the GCD is x and y. Okay, GCD. Suppose the slope is sorry. Suppose the slope is equals to x and y. Good to go. Now, suppose it might be the case that suppose the slope is 4 by 2 and here the slope is 1 by 2. No. Suppose the slope is 3 by 4 and here the slope is 6 by 8. Why I use the GCD part? I am telling you. Suppose the slope is 3 by 4 and 6 by 8. Okay, if I store it in the map, then map would take it as two different slope. But it is different or same? Just tell me quickly. If you simplify this, then these two are same. How these two are same? This can't be made it to the lower terms, and if we tell it to the lower terms, that would be 3 by 4, and then we would be getting two slopes, that is 3 by 4 and 3 by 4, which are both equal. But if we had not simplified it, then it would be different. Okay, then yeah, I told you that your solution would pass by without sorting also. I just use sorting for my perspective. Okay, just to be on the safer side. Okay, so these two are slopes are same, but we need to simplify it. Now how can we simplify? We can simplify it by taking out the GCD. Suppose we can take it as the GCD. Can we store double value of x and y? Yeah, we can store it. I generally, that double value, instead of double value, what I do it was, I used simply map of pairs, which is kind of same, because what I thought is storing it in the case of double, we might came across the precision might be a problem. So to be on the safer side, I simply used a map of pairs. Okay, now to simplify it, we are using the GCD. Okay, we are taking out the GCD of 2, that x and x, we are simplifying it, and then we are doing it. Okay, x and y. Okay, suppose it is 14 by 7, so we are taking out the GCD, that would be 7, so it would be 2 by 1. Okay, that would be the slope would be 2 itself. Good to go. So can I move to the implementation now, or any more doubts exist? Can I move to the implementation? Am I clear with the GCD part or not? Just tell me if I'm clear with this or not. Can I have a quick +1? Can I have a quick +1 if everything is clear? Now we would move to the implementation. I told you now. The thing is that I told you, Siddharth, that if point exists on the same line, then their slope would be same. then their slope would be same. Okay, normal thing. Now we can store it in the double also. There are different, the same would be, it won't affect the time complexity. You can store it in double also, you can store it in pairs also. Okay, now that Vaibhav Singh, you can send your solution to me on LinkedIn. I would be clarifying why did you get the wrong answer, because here you can't send your code. If you send your code, it would be showing that you have sent, but I won't receive it. No one would receive it. Now, am I clear with this or not? Can I have a quick plus one? Only one replied plus one. I'm trying to do my level best. Can I have quick expect a plus one? Okay. Now I would be moving on to the next part. Okay. Now how to implement this? Okay. Now what we can do is, okay. Okay. Now if the answer, sir, I got it, y is equal to, if slope is same then the constant part is different. What will happen there? Okay. Y is equal to mx plus c. The constant part is different. I don't get what you are telling. Okay. So now I would move on to the implementation. No. Okay. Good to go. I think I should copy this code. Just wait a second. I would copy this code so that I can make it large. Okay. Good to go. Now the pen. Okay. So if the value is less than 2, then we would be returning that value only. If it is 1, then we can, if there is one balloon, then we can directly shoot it. If there is a two balloon, then we can stand at this position and we can shoot this. So two balloons would be done. Okay. Now we would be moving, now an answer is 2. Okay. Now I would be iterating, we would be comparing for 1 point and all others point, 1 point and then all other point, 1 point and then all other point. Okay. Now what I did was, I took a map of pair of int comma int to store the coordinates and int to store it frequency, and I named it slope map of, and this would store the same thing. Horizontal would store the horizontal, vertical would store the vertical. Okay. Now it might be the case that we are comparing the same element, then we would be getting the wrong different thing. So if I is not equal to j, then we are seeing. Now if I is not equal to j and the value is same, then the coordinates are same. So we are incrementing the same thing. Now if first is same, that is x is equals to the x coordinate, then we are incrementing the horizontal. If the y coordinates are same, we are incrementing the vertical. Okay. Now the most awaited part, that is the slope one. Okay. Okay, now what we are doing is x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1. Okay, and we would be storing x2 minus x1 comma y2 minus y1. Good to go. So that's why what we are doing is a2 x2 y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1. And then what we are doing is, we are dividing it with the GCD of it. We are dividing it, doing it for the lowest term. And then if the value is in the negative, then we are multiplying both to positive. Okay. and then we are incrementing its frequency. We are incrementing its frequency. Now this calculation part is important. Okay, now this calculation part is important. I would be showing you what is the thing. Now the answer is, suppose this is the point, this is the point, and it might be the case that there are many horizontal points also. Okay, horizontal points, horizontal points, horizontal points, horizontal points, and here suppose there are 2 points. Okay, there are 3 balloons. Okay, now the thing is that if I, we have written that I is not equal to j, then we are considering. So we have successfully not counted this. This thing is not counted. We have just counted these all things. So what would be the value? This count, suppose it is x plus the same thing. What is the same? It is 3, and then the original value, that is plus 1. And that's what I am doing. 1 plus same plus horizontal. 1 plus same plus vertical. Good to go. Now we would do the same thing for the slope also. Okay. Answer, we are comparing it with the maximum value. 1 plus same thing, and then the answer. Then the frequency of the coordinate. We are calculating the frequency. Okay. And after that, the max value would be stored by using this max1 STL, and then we would be returning this one. Okay. Now I would be waiting for 2 minutes for doubts. Okay. After that, I would be turning off the session. Can I have a quick doubt session? Anyone, can anyone tell me what all points or what all areas did you don't understand, or what are your doubts? Can you tell me please? I would be clearing this off. Okay. Actually, the thing is that the view count is 32, but the likes are only 20. So can anyone, I have invested so much energy on this. Today was a festive day. I came here to teach. I am not charging you anything. Geeks for Geeks is completely free. So can you please like this video? Please like this video. And if possible, you can just comment your views on this video, because the YouTube algorithm is such that the video which is having the more number of likes and comments will be suggested more. Okay, so I want this video to be suggested because I have invested my energy on this. So can anyone, all the people who are watching it live, can you please like this video? Okay. Okay, now one more thing. Okay, if you face any difficulty, or if you want any doubts, anything, any tips on anything, how to do this, how to do that, you can contact me on LinkedIn, ask whatever is your doubt, and we can have a happy session. Okay, and if you are looking for someone who is good with and you would get that programming vibe on your LinkedIn, I would love to connect with you. Can everyone please like this video? The like count is still less. Okay. So everyone understood? Can I close off this session? Everyone understood? Can I have a quick +1 so that I can close this session off? Can I have a quick +1 from everyone so that I can turn off this session, please? Please, it's a request from my side. We can start a loop j from I plus 1. Okay. So it might be the case, why are you doing that for I plus j plus 1? I'm not understanding your approach. Sir, can you please repeat the last part? Okay, can you please repeat the last part? Okay, I would be repeating that last part. Okay, what we are doing is we are counting it for the same, that element and the same element, and then we are moving it. Okay, now someone told me, Vikas told me, that why can't we go from j plus 1? So the thing is that we are comparing that element with every other element. So it might be the case that for I plus 1, there might be elements which would remain before this point. So we need to consider the whole timeline. No, that's why we are not doing it for I plus 1. Instead of sorting numerator and denominator, can't we store the float value after dividing it? Yeah, you can do it for sure. To be on the safer side and not to go on that precision problem, I took that pair one because it is easy and it won't affect the time complexity. Okay, I think all the doubts are clear. Now I would be turning this session off. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day. Happy Rakhi. Okay, happy Rakhi to all of you. I'm turning off this session. Good night. Any more doubt and queries? Am I clear with this or not? I would be turning off this session. Okay. Thank you.